And so let me explain a verse that successful people, people who successfully raise children, get wrong, and unsuccessful people get even more wrong. Let's go to the famous Proverbs 22:6 that people have been that the failures have been trying to explain away, and the successful people have been acting like they have done. And that is Psalms 22:6. It says, "Train up a child in the way he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it." Now, folks, that cannot be any more clear. Train up a child in the way he should go, and when he is old. Oh, I'm only responsible for what they do until I'm in my house. Well, listen, I'm not content with just keeping my children faithful, Baptist, doing right while they're in my house. I want them doing right after they get out of my house. I am not a successful parent if I just keep them alive for 18 years. I'm a successful parent if I can get them to love the Lord and to follow the Lord until they're old. And let me tell you something. I have been out of my parents' house longer than I was in my parents' house. But the impact of what they did raising me still has an effect on me today, still influences me in a positive way. They are still a force for good in my life, and they are a deterrent from evil for me. Still, to this day, my parents are those things. Even though I have been out of my house longer than I've been in my house, and you better believe I want it to be the same way with my children. I am not content just keeping them Baptist until they're 18. I want them to continue following the Lord after I am gone, because I want it for my grandchildren too. And my Bible says, train up a child in the way he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it. I believe that. I believe that is absolute. That's all there is to it. And failures, they're always trying to find a way to explain, well, it doesn't really mean that. I mean, it's just a principle. We're not Calvinist. You know, you can't force. There's free will. Okay? So you say, so Pastor Tom, are you saying you've done that? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Of course I have not perfectly done that. Part of training a child is not just telling them the right thing to do, but you got to demonstrate it. You got to teach it consistently. You got to be thorough on these things. I mean, you got to be balanced. You got to be biblical. There are so many things that you have to get right. But let me tell you, if you can do everything 100% right that the Bible teaches about training, when your child's old, they're not going to depart from it. But you're crazy if you think you've done it. You're crazy if you think you've done it. Just like, folks, if you will keep the whole law, you'd go to heaven. But you're crazy if you think you can do that. And you're crazy if you think that you are capable of training up a child in the way he should go. That way when he's old, he will not depart from it. You're crazy if you think you can do that. And any parent out there that's like, I did it. Shut up. How good do you think you are? And what's funny, again, most of the people who say I did it are the ones who failed, whose kids departed as soon as they could. As soon as they could. They're typically the ones that do that. Unsuccessful people explain it away. Successful people act like they did it right. But those who were successful, you know how they succeeded? By the grace of God. That's how they succeeded. By the grace. They didn't do it exactly right. Let's look at a passage that many people struggle with about salvation. Again, everything I'm teaching here is consistent with what we teach about grace and salvation. Romans chapter 2 verse 5 says, "But after thy hardness and penitent heart treasurest up unto thyself wrath against the day of wrath and revelation of the righteous judgment of God, who will render to every man according to his deeds. To them who by patient continuance and well-doing seek for glory and honor and immortality, eternal life. But unto them that are contentious and do not obey the truth, but obey unrighteousness, indignation and wrath. Tribulation and anguish upon every soul of man that doeth evil, of the Jew first and also of the Gentile. But glory, honor, and peace to every man that worketh good, to the Jew first, and also to the Gentile, for there is no respect of persons with God." Now, many people will show this verse, and they will rightfully point out how this is saying, if you'll do all these things, you'll have eternal life. That sounds like salvation by works. Yeah, it does. But listen, you have to keep reading. You know what chapter 3 shows us? We're not going to take time to go into it. Chapter 3 says, nobody does it. Chapter 3 says, as it is written, there is none righteous, no, not one. There is none that doeth good. For all have sinned and come short of the glory of God. Romans 2 is showing, yes, if you obey the law, if you do all these things, you'll have eternal life. You'll be fine. But Romans 3 is like, nobody does it. Nobody has ever done these things. And let me tell you something. Nobody has ever perfectly trained their children. No husband has ever perfectly led his wife. No wife has ever perfectly followed her husband. Nobody does anything perfect. We all sin. We all mess up. We all have bad days. We all fall short. But does that mean we're not capable of having a successful end? Listen, if we're capable of receiving eternal life and glorification, even though we've sinned against God's law, thanks to grace and the blood of Christ, did you know that we can still succeed and be faithful in our successful in our marriages and raising our children if there's grace?